I once thought Elise and I had the perfect life. Two beautiful kids, our dream house, 12 years of what I believed was happiness. Then one Tuesday I came home to find our children alone and scared, clutching a handwritten note. I need space to find myself. I'll be back in a few years. Take care of our babies. 6 years passed without a word. We rebuilt. We healed. Then yesterday she appeared on our doorstep, suitcase in hand, expecting to find the family she abandoned waiting. If you're watching this from a place where family means everything, hit like and subscribe as I share what happens when someone who broke you tries to return. I met Elise during sophomore year of college. She sat across from me in a literature class, and her laughter caught my attention first. That bright, uninhibited sound made everyone turn. Her dark auburn hair fell in waves past her shoulders, and her green eyes sparkled with intelligence and mischief. I spent 3 weeks gathering courage to ask her for coffee. Our romance moved quickly after that first date. Within 6 months, we were inseparable. By senior year, I proposed under the old oak tree on campus, where we had our first kiss. We married at 23, young and so certain about everything. Sophia came along 2 years later. I still remember the first time I held her, this tiny bundle with Elise's auburn hair and my blue eyes. James followed 2 years after that, a sturdy little boy with a determined expression from day one. Our family felt complete. We bought our house in a nice Pennsylvania suburb. 3 bedrooms, a backyard with room for a swing set, and good schools nearby. I worked as an architectural designer, spending my days creating spaces for other families while treasuring the one waiting at home. Elise worked part-time as a photographer, mostly weddings and family portraits. She seemed to enjoy capturing those perfect moments for others. Our life looked picture perfect from the outside. Weekend barbecues with neighbors, holiday traditions with extended family date nights every other Friday. I thought we had everything figured out. Looking back, there were signs I missed completely. Elise staring into distance during family movie nights. Comments about feeling tied down when friends posted travel photos. The way she would sometimes watch planes overhead with a wistful expression. "Do you ever feel like life is happening too fast?" she asked me once, as we did dishes together. "Like one day you blink and suddenly you have a mortgage and responsibilities and no freedom?" I laughed it off. "That is life, babe. The good life." She smiled and nodded, but something flickered in her eyes. I should have seen it then. The day everything changed started normally. I got up at 6, showered, and started coffee while Elise packed lunches for the kids. Sophia, 7, then wanted her sandwich cut in triangles, not squares. James, 4, refused to eat anything that touched anything else on his plate. The usual morning chaos. I kissed Elise goodbye. "What are we doing for dinner?" I asked. "Lasagna," she said. "Your favorite. The recipe from your mom." "Love you," I called as I headed out the door. "You too," she replied. Those were the last words she said to me for 6 years. My workday involved client meetings about a new community center project. Nothing remarkable. I left early, stopping for flowers on the way home. Elise had seemed tired lately, and I thought surprising her might help. The house was unusually quiet when I walked in. No TV cartoon sounds, no kitchen clatter, just muffled crying. I found James hiding under his bed, clutching his teddy bear. Sophia sat in her closet, knees pulled to her chest. "Where is Mommy?" I asked, panic rising. "She left," James whispered. "She said goodbye and left." "When is she coming back?" Sophia asked me, her little face streaked with tears. In our bedroom, I found the note on the pillow, her wedding ring placed neatly on top. The closet was half empty. Her passport was gone. So was $5,000 from our joint account. The note was brief, written in her flowing handwriting. "I need space to find myself. The pressures of family life are suffocating me. I will come back in a few years when I figure things out. Take care of our babies. I am sorry." No explanation of where she was going. No phone number. Nothing. I called her parents first. They were as shocked as I was. Then her friends. No one knew anything, or so they claimed. I checked hospitals, filed a police report. The officers looked sympathetic but blunt. "Sir, adults are allowed to leave. There is no evidence of foul play. This appears to be voluntary abandonment." That night, I sat on the kitchen floor after the kids finally fell asleep and sobbed until my throat hurt. What would I tell them? How could I possibly handle everything alone? What had I done wrong that made her leave? The first weeks passed in a blur of practical challenges and emotional devastation. I took emergency leave from work. My mom flew in from Arizona to help with the kids while I dealt with the immediate logistics, changing bank accounts, calling Elise's clients to cancel upcoming photo shoots, telling the school what happened. The children asked about her constantly. Sophia wanted to know if Mommy was mad at her. James kept checking the front window, certain she would pull into the driveway any minute. Their confusion broke my heart all over again every single time. Mommy needed some time away became my careful answer. She loves you very much, but she needed to figure some things out. The lie tasted bitter, but what could I tell them? That their mother valued her freedom more than watching them grow up, that she left them alone and scared. Neighbors brought casseroles and offered playdates. Their kindness was genuine but awkward. No one quite knew what to say about a mother who abandoned her family. It fell outside the normal scripts of sympathy. Amanda, Elise's best friend since college, came by after 2 weeks. She sat at my kitchen table twisting her wedding ring nervously. "I need to tell you something," she said. Elise mentioned feeling suffocated a few times. She talked about wanting to travel to experience life outside of being a wife and mother. I never thought she would actually leave, though. "I would have warned you." I nodded numbly. "Did she tell you where she might go?" "No, but she always talked about Australia, the Great Barrier Reef, the Outback, places far from here." After Amanda left, I locked myself in the bathroom and cried so the kids wouldn't hear. Every night I did this. Every night I pulled myself together afterward because my children needed stability more than I needed to fall apart. The practical aspects of single parenthood hit hard and fast. I had no idea how to style Sophia's hair for dance recital. YouTube tutorials became my midnight companion. I learned through painful trial and error how to manage school, pickup, work, deadlines, grocery shopping, and housekeeping all at once. My boss was understanding but firm. "Take the time you need, but we have projects that need your attention." I rearranged my schedule to drop the kids at school at 8 and pick them up at 3. The critical client meetings that fell outside those hours required expensive babysitters. One night, after serving the kids chicken nuggets for the 3rd time that week, Sophia looked up at me with serious eyes. "Daddy, you need to learn more recipes. We cannot eat nuggets forever." I laughed for the first time in weeks. "You are right, sweetie. Maybe we can look at cookbooks this weekend and pick some new foods to try." Small moments like that kept me going. That and sheer necessity. There was no choice but to keep moving forward. The first parent-teacher conference alone nearly broke me. The sympathetic looks. The careful way teachers avoided mentioning Elise. Sophia's teacher pulled me aside afterward. "She is drawing pictures of her family, but her mother has wings and is flying away in all of them. Would you like me to recommend a child therapist?" That started our journey with Dr. Peterson, a kind woman who specialized in childhood trauma. She saw both kids weekly, then me monthly. She explained the impact of abandonment. "Children often blame themselves when a parent leaves," she told me. "They believe if they had been better, more lovable, the parent would have stayed. Your job is to consistently reinforce that this was not about them. It was about Elise and her issues." Meanwhile, James started having aggressive outbursts at preschool. Sophia became withdrawn, her previous bubbly personality dimming. I felt like I was failing them despite my best efforts. 3 months after Elise left, I found her hidden journal while looking for insurance papers. I knew I should not read it, but desperation for answers overcame my better judgment. The entries from the 6 months before she left revealed a woman I barely recognized. Sometimes I look at Tom and the kids and feel nothing but the weight of all I gave up. My youth, my freedom, the chance to really find out who I am beyond someone who belongs to other people. Amanda showed photos from her Greece trip today. I felt physically sick with envy. Will I ever see the world, or just the inside of this beautiful prison I helped create? Researched flights to Sydney again. The tickets are expensive, but I have been saving. Just a few more months. The words gutted me. Our life together, our children, our love described as a prison she needed to escape. She had been planning her departure for months. Every "I love you" during that time had been a lie. I hired a private investigator with money I could not really spare. He confirmed she had flown to Sydney. Her credit card showed purchases in Cairns, Brisbane, Melbourne. She appeared to be touring the country, staying in hostels, taking diving lessons at the Great Barrier Reef. I found her new social media accounts. Photos of beaches, new friends, parties. Her smile looked carefree in a way I had not seen in years. Not a single mention of the children she left behind. Not a word about missing home. I sent messages, emails. Her parents even flew to Australia trying to find her. Nothing worked. Letters the children wrote, returned unopened. She had cut us off completely, as if wiping away her previous life. After 2 years, my lawyer advised filing for divorce on grounds of abandonment. "You need to legally protect yourself and the children," she said. "What if she returns suddenly and demands custody?" The divorce was granted easily. The judge looked disgusted when reviewing the case. Full custody went to me, with Elise's parental rights severely restricted due to abandonment. By the 3rd anniversary of her leaving, the children stopped asking when Mommy would return. James, now 7, asked me a question that shattered my heart one night at bedtime. "Dad, did Mommy leave because I was bad? Because I spilled juice on her camera that time?" I held him close, fighting back tears. "No, buddy, never think that. Mommy left because she had problems inside herself that had nothing to do with you. You are perfect exactly as you are." Sophia hit a breaking point at her 10th birthday party. A well-meaning relative mentioned how much she looked like her mother. Sophia burst into tears and ran to her room. When I found her, she was tearing up the few photos of Elise I had kept. "I do not want a mom anymore," she declared fiercely. "We do not need her. We are fine without her." That night, I finally boxed up all remaining photos and keepsakes related to Elise. I stored them in the attic, not for my sake, but for the day the children might want to know more about their mother. I sold my wedding ring to help pay for summer camp. The divorce decree arrived, officially declaring our marriage over due to abandonment. The paperwork felt anticlimactic after 3 years of emotional limbo. That was the night I finally accepted she was never coming back. I sat on the porch after the kids went to bed, drinking a beer and watching the stars. The pain was still there, but duller, like an old injury that aches before rain. "We are going to be okay," I said aloud to the night sky. "With or without you, Elise, we are going to be okay." Somewhere during the 4th year, things began to shift. The raw edges of our loss smoothed. New patterns formed. The children thrived, despite everything, showing resilience that amazed me daily. I received a promotion at work that came with more flexibility and better pay. My boss pulled me aside after the announcement. "You have done exceptional work while dealing with extraordinary personal circumstances," he said. "That speaks to your character and ability." The increased income allowed us to hire a regular after-school sitter, Mrs. Jenkins, a retired teacher who helped with homework and started dinner before I got home. The kids adored her grandmother energy and homemade cookies. We created new family traditions. Pizza and board game night every Friday. Saturday morning pancakes with crazy toppings. Summer camping trips in the Pennsylvania woods. The 3 of us built a life that felt full, if different from what I had once envisioned. My sister convinced me to try dating again during year 5. My first attempts were awkward disasters. I had been with Elise since college and had no idea how to talk to women romantically anymore. Plus, single dad baggage scared away several prospects immediately. Meanwhile, the children hit new milestones. Sophia won the science fair with a project on water filtration. James made the Little League baseball team and hit his first home run. Each achievement they celebrated without looking for their mother in the audience was both a victory and a quiet sadness. We moved to a smaller house closer to my office during year 5. The old place held too many memories, and the new location shortened my commute by 20 minutes. The kids got to design their own rooms. Sophia chose galaxy wallpaper and glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. James went with a dinosaur theme complete with fossil bedding. "This place is really ours," Sophia said as we unpacked boxes. "No ghosts." I knew what she meant. No lingering presence of the person who left us behind. I met Katie at a school fundraiser during the fall of year 6. She taught kindergarten at the kids' school, though not in their classes. She had a warm smile and an easy way with children that came from genuine interest in their thoughts. She asked me about the book I was reading while supervising the bake sale, and conversation flowed naturally from there. Our first date was coffee during her planning period. The second was lunch on a teacher workday. By the third date, dinner at a real restaurant, I realized I was ready to let someone new into our carefully balanced lives. Katie understood our history without making it define us. She built her own relationships with the children, never trying to replace their missing mother but offering genuine care and attention. She taught Sophia to braid hair, helped James build model rockets, and never pushed for more than they were ready to give. By spring, Katie was a regular presence at our dinner table. The kids looked forward to her visits, especially when she brought materials for crafts or science experiments. She fit into our world so naturally that it felt like she had always been meant to be there. We took our first vacation as a foursome that summer, a week at a lake cabin. Watching Katie teach James to fish and help Sophia identify constellations at night, I felt a contentment I had not expected to find again. That week, I began to imagine a future with her as a permanent part of our family. The children no longer mentioned Elise. Sophia proudly told people she was just like Dad when they complimented her sketching abilities. James introduced us at school functions as me, Dad, and Sis, a complete unit in his mind. Our family therapy sessions became monthly, then quarterly, as Dr. Peterson noted their progress. Katie and I had just begun tentative conversations about moving in together when the past came knocking on our door. Literally. It was a Tuesday evening, much like the one when Elise had left. I was helping James with math homework while Sophia practiced her presentation for social studies. Katie was bringing dessert later to celebrate Sophia receiving an A on a difficult science test. The doorbell rang at 7:30. Assuming it was Katie arriving early, I opened the door without checking first. Elise stood on our porch, a suitcase beside her. She looked different. Thinner, deeply tanned, her once long auburn hair now cut in a short, stylish bob. 6 years had added fine lines around her eyes, but they were the same green I remembered from across that college classroom so long ago. "Hey," she said, as casual as if she had been gone for a weekend. "I am back." For a moment, I could not speak, could not breathe. The world narrowed to this impossible moment, this ghost from our past standing solid and real before me. The children appeared in the hallway behind me, curious about the visitor. Neither recognized her. 6 years is an eternity in childhood. Sophia had been 7 when Elise left. Now 13, she was nearly as tall as her mother, beginning to show the first signs of the woman she would become. James had been 4, now 10, with only the vaguest memories of the woman who had given birth to him. "Who is she?" "Dad," Sophia asked, her voice wary. James stepped back, hiding partially behind his sister, a protective instinct that broke my heart. Even without conscious memory, some part of him recognized danger. Elise gasped. Her hand flew to her mouth as she took in their changed appearances. "My babies," she whispered, tears filling her eyes. She stepped forward, arms outstretched. Both children moved backward. James fully behind me now, Sophia straightening to her full height, chin raised in unconscious defiance. The silence stretched, painful and thick with unspoken emotions. Then headlights swept the driveway as Katie pulled up. Another layer of complication in an already impossible scenario. Katie approached the porch, dessert box in hand, her smile fading as she sensed the tension. Her eyes darted between Elise and me, quick understanding dawning on her face. "Oh," she said softly. "Should I come back later?" "No," I found my voice at last. "Please stay. Kids, why do not you go upstairs with Katie for a bit? We will have that dessert soon." Katie, bless her intuitive nature, immediately understood my need to shield the children from the emotional storm brewing. "I brought chocolate cake," she said brightly. "And I want to see that presentation, Sophia." They disappeared upstairs, James looking back with confused eyes, Sophia with a hardened expression that looked disturbingly adult on her young face. Elise watched them go, devastation evident in every line of her body. "They do not know me," she whispered. "My own children do not recognize me." "What did you expect?" The words came out sharper than I intended. "You have been gone for 6 years. Without a single call, letter, or email." Sophia was 7. James was 4. Now they are 13 and 10. Of course they do not know you. She stepped inside uninvited, pulling her suitcase after her. The presumption ignited a slow burning anger in my chest. I expected it would be hard, she said. But I am their mother, I thought. Some bond would remain. Motherhood is not just biology, I said, keeping my voice low to prevent the children from overhearing. It is showing up. Every day. For scraped knees and nightmares and homework and endless questions. You chose to miss all of that. Elise sank onto the couch, our couch in our new home that she had never seen before. I can explain everything, she said. I found myself in Australia. I learned to scuba dive, I worked on organic farms, I studied meditation with Buddhist monks in Thailand. I had spiritual awakening in Bali. I needed that journey to become the person I was meant to be. Each exotic location she listed felt like a slap. While she was finding herself on beaches and in temples, I was finding ways to explain to our children why other kids had mommies and they did not. While she meditated with monks, I sat through therapy sessions, helping our son understand that her leaving was not his fault. And now you are back, I said flatly. With a suitcase. Expecting what exactly her expression showed genuine confusion. To come home, she said simply. To be a family again. I know it will take time, but I am ready now. Ready to be a mother. A wife. I almost laughed at the absurdity. Elise, we have been divorced for 4 years. I have full custody of the children. This is not your home. We are not your family, not in the way you are thinking. Her face crumpled. Divorced, but I said I would come back. And I was supposed to put life on hold indefinitely. The courts granted divorce on grounds of abandonment after 2 years. It is final. Has been for a long time. Who is she? Elise asked, glancing toward the stairs where Katie had disappeared with the children. The woman with the cake. Her name is Katie. She is a kindergarten teacher at the kids' school. She is my girlfriend. The kids adore her. Tears spilled down Elise's cheeks now. You replaced me. The unfairness of that statement broke the careful control I had maintained. You left us, I said, each word precise and cutting. You abandoned your 4-year-old son and 7-year-old daughter with a note. No warning. No discussion. You took money and disappeared. For 6 years, Elise. 6 birthdays. 6 Christmases. First days of school. Broken bones. Nightmares. All of it you chose to miss. I always planned to come back, she insisted. And we were supposed to just wait frozen in time for your convenience. That is not how life works. That is not how love works. She reached for my hand. I moved back. The woman I had once loved beyond reason now felt like a stranger. A threat to the peace we had painstakingly built. Where are you staying tonight? I asked. The question clearly shocked her. She gestured to her suitcase. Here, I thought. No, I said firmly. That is not happening. There's a hotel 5 miles down the highway. I suggest you get a room there while we figure this out. Can I at least talk to the children before I go, really introduce myself? I thought of James hiding behind me. Sophia's defensive posture. Not tonight. They need time to process this. I need to talk to their therapist first about the best way to handle it. Therapist. They needed therapy. Real shock in her voice. Of course they needed therapy. Their mother abandoned them without explanation. What did you think that would do to them? Her shoulders slumped in defeat. I did not think. Not about that. I was so caught up in my own needs. That at least was honest. The first real thing she had said since appearing at our door. I will call you tomorrow, I told her. We can discuss next steps then. But Elise, understand this now. You do not get to waltz back in and reclaim the role you walked away from. The children will set the pace here. Their well-being comes first. She nodded, gathered her suitcase, and walked back to her rental car. As she drove away, I leaned against the doorframe, suddenly exhausted. Katie appeared at the top of the stairs. They are okay, she said softly. Confused, but okay. Sophia has questions. I bet she does, I sighed. This is not how I planned our evening. Katie came down and wrapped her arms around me. Life rarely goes according to plan. We will figure it out together. In that moment, I realized how lucky I was to have found someone so steady, so understanding. Someone who said we without hesitation when facing a challenge that was not hers to bear. The next morning, I called Dr. Peterson before work and explained the situation. Her advice was clear. Neutral location, short visit. No pressure for physical affection. Follow the children's lead completely. And prepare them beforehand with an age-appropriate explanation. I sat Sophia and James down at breakfast. The woman who came last night is your biological mother, Elise. She left when you were very young, and now she has returned. She would like to meet you properly. James frowned. Why did she come back now? I do not know exactly, I answered honestly, but you can ask her that yourself if you want to. Do we have to see her? Sophia asked, her expression guarded. No, I assured her. This is completely your choice. But she is part of your history, and if you are curious, this is a chance to get some answers. Sophia considered this. Will you be there the whole time I promised? They agreed to a meeting at the local park that weekend. Dr. Peterson suggested I contact a family law attorney immediately, which I did. The legal reality was straightforward given the circumstances of abandonment and the existing custody arrangement. Elise had no automatic right to visitation, but courts generally favored some relationship with biological parents unless harmful to the children. The park meeting was awkward but civil. Elise brought photo albums from her travels, thinking the children would be fascinated. They showed polite interest but were more concerned with basic questions. Why did you leave? Sophia asked directly. Elise looked startled at the bluntness. I was unhappy. I felt trapped in my life and needed to find myself. Most mommies stay even when they feel sad, James observed quietly. I was not strong enough then, Elise admitted. I made a terrible mistake. Do you want to be our mom again? Sophia asked. I would like to know you both, Elise said carefully. To be part of your lives in whatever way works for everyone. It was the right answer. Not pushing, not assuming, but open. Perhaps her journey had taught her something after all. Over the following months, a new pattern emerged. Supervised visits at first, then occasional outings. Elise found an apartment nearby and got a job teaching photography at the community college. She accepted the boundaries I set without argument, seemingly grateful for any access to the children's lives. The kids approached the relationship differently. James, younger and naturally more forgiving, warmed to her gradually. Sophia remained cautious, polite, but distant. She had been old enough to fully experience the abandonment and was not quick to trust again. Katie remained our family's anchor through it all. She never showed jealousy or resentment toward Elise, but made it clear through quiet actions that she was committed to our family unit. The day Sophia casually referred to Katie as my bonus mom during a school event was a turning point I will never forget. Family therapy became our weekly gathering place, a neutral ground to navigate the complex emotions and relationships. Dr. Peterson guided us through difficult conversations with compassion and clarity. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, she told me during one of our private sessions. And it does not mean restoration of what was lost. It means freeing yourself from the burden of anger so you can move forward. Those words became my mantra during difficult moments. When Elise asked to attend Sophia's choir concert and my instinct was to refuse out of lingering hurt. When James wanted to spend an afternoon showing Elise his baseball trophies. When legal discussions about formal visitation arrangements became heated. Forgiveness came slowly in small moments. Seeing genuine regret in Elise's eyes when Sophia mentioned a milestone she had missed, watching her patient acceptance of the children's wariness, her tearful gratitude when I shared photos from the years she was absent. A year after Elise's return, Katie and I got engaged. We told the children first, then our families. Elise was the last to know, and I dreaded her reaction. I am happy for you, she said simply when I told her. Katie is wonderful with them. The love you all share is obvious. Thank you, I said, surprised by her grace. I lost the right to feel possessive a long time ago, she continued. My journey taught me many things, but the most important lesson came too late. That the truest purpose is found in keeping your promises to the people who depend on you. I nodded, unable to speak past the unexpected lump in my throat. I hope we can continue to find a way forward that works for everyone, she added. I know my place now. Not as wife, not even as primary mother. But I would like to remain in their lives, supporting from the sidelines. That conversation marked the final shift from painful past to workable present. Elise became something I never expected, a cordial co-parent, respectful of boundaries, grateful for inclusion rather than demanding it as a right. Today, our family defies simple definition. Katie and I are married, creating a stable home with the children. Elise visits regularly, more like a fond aunt than a mother, but valued in her own way. The children continue to thrive, carrying their complicated history as part of their unique story rather than a defining wound. Life has taught me that family is not just about biology or legal documents. It is built daily through presence, through keeping promises, through showing up when it would be easier to run away. Sometimes what breaks you creates space for something stronger to grow in its place. If you have ever had to rebuild after someone walked away, I would love to hear your story in the comments. How did you find strength when it felt impossible? Have you discovered that sometimes the most painful chapters lead to unexpected blessings? Please subscribe if this resonated with you and share with anyone who might need to hear that. Broken things can become beautiful in new ways. Thank you for listening to my journey, and remember, the family you build through love and commitment is more powerful than any family created by chance.